The cryptocurrency market has entered a phase of noticeable acceleration. Long-term traders and institutional investors are showing tremendous interest. The current market situation resembles the early stages of a bull run. Bitcoin has approached the $122,000 mark, putting enormous pressure on investors who have taken short positions. And of course, there were a huge number of liquidations during the rally, with even more likely ahead. Ethereum has confidently surpassed $4,400. Such numbers haven't been seen for a long time, not since 2021. And now it's gaining significant strength again. And now, we're picking the winner who left a comment, a prediction, or an exact or approximate price for Bitcoin. At the time of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin was $120,230. Let's see who our winner is. The winning comment is from Marina Usova, $120,230, which means the difference is just $100, almost spot on. Congratulations on your win. Please contact our technical support team and your prize will definitely be sent to you. And as for you friends, take part. Write the exact or approximate price of Bitcoin and get a $50 gift. One account, one person is allowed to leave 3 comments. So leave your guesses and maybe in the next episode, you'll be the winner. But let's continue. In just 1 month, Ethereum has shown growth of about 50%. It's been a long time since we've seen anything like this. And just in the past week, Ethereum has grown by about 20%. Institutional players are significantly increasing their positions, and especially BlackRock, Fidelity, and other major organizations and funds are accumulating and expanding their holdings specifically in Ethereum. For example, BlackRock acquired 150,000 Ethereum. Meanwhile, regulatory initiatives have been adopted in the United States. Equity orders supports investing through pension funds. Just think about that. Pension funds are investing in crypto assets, specifically in Bitcoin and Ethereum. What does that tell us? If pension funds are investing, I think it is widely known that pension funds are among the most conservative and cautious management companies, and they absolutely will not get involved in situations where there is significant risk. Therefore, it is clear that they definitely possess some crucial knowledge, and indeed, they know considerably more than the average person. And this is a huge signal for continued growth. The SEC has launched Project Crypto to simplify the regulatory environment. These steps are strengthening the market by $1.5 billion specifically in Bitcoin and Ethereum products. Meanwhile, there are major shifts in Bitcoin dominance and the altcoin season index on the market. Bitcoin dominance has dropped to a 6-month low, specifically to 59.7%, which indicates the beginning of Bitcoin being redistributed towards altcoins. Nevertheless, the altcoin season index remains at rather low levels. The level is only 34 and only 25% of altcoins have started to outperform Bitcoin in growth. So Bitcoin is still dominant. What does this mean? It means that the altcoin season is, in actual fact, just beginning its promising ascent. And there is still ample time and a significant opportunity to thoughtfully enter this burgeoning market right now at this very moment. It's amazing that after being in the market for 9 years, I can clearly see that whenever the market dips, they create an extremely negative atmosphere and all investors are afraid to invest at that moment. But when everything is growing and growing as dynamically as possible, and from all sides there's added informational noise like, we're going to the moon, that's already a sign that a reversal is coming soon. That's exactly when investors start buying, but by then, it's already too late. That's why, for me personally, right now is the best opportunity to enter the market. And for now, having this information, I have a clear understanding that there's still a bit of time left. But it's really not much time to manage to buy in and ride the wave of massive growth like we did back in 2021 when Ethereum and Bitcoin gave us dozens of exits, and some of our investors multiplied their capital by up to 80 times. This is simply a colossal opportunity that comes around only once every 4 years. And I'm more than sure that 2025 and possibly even part of 2026 will be just the same. Meanwhile, the market capitalization of the cryptocurrency market is confidently breaking through $4 trillion, while at the same time Bitcoin's dominance is dropping to 61%. What does this tell us? If Bitcoin's dominance has reached 60% and is starting to turn around gradually, a huge altcoin season is approaching because capital will start flowing smoothly from Bitcoin into altcoins. Let me remind you that when Bitcoin begins a steady rise, altcoins shoot up 2 or even 3 times faster. When Bitcoin drops sharply, all altcoins drop 2 or 3 times faster. That's why you need to be careful in this rapidly growing market, especially when using leverage. I don't recommend using it at all. Your capital can just turn to zero in an instant. There will be torn out hair, tears, and a liquidation notice from the exchange. This is a time when inexperienced investors or traders can simply hold spot and watch, refreshing their screen as their capital grows in dollars. The rate of dominance decline has already started to drop by 3 to 4%. This is a positive sign for the upcoming altcoin season. Increased volatility is expected in the market. And I'll repeat, be vigilant, careful, and keep a clear mind. Large institutional investments are creating a strong foundation for continued significant growth. Meanwhile, private traders are already starting to lock in profits, multi-million-dollar profits, buying expensive cars, yachts, and real estate. Shifts in Bitcoin dominance dynamics, the growth of market capitalization and institutional influence, along with the addition of external informational noise, all clearly indicate that the start of alt season is already underway. But for now, let me remind you, there is still a little time left since Bitcoin dominance still prevails in the alt season index. The market is waiting for confirmation of altcoin growth through trading volumes. In the near future, it is important to keep an eye on macroeconomics, ETF activity, and the behavior of key altcoin projects. Now, let's take a look at the Bitfinex exchange. We're looking at the 3-month time frame. Let's see what's happening here. As I mentioned in previous videos, the 3-month or quarterly time frame closed very positively for us. And the summer period, yes, should be quite dynamic and growing, whereas in previous years it was the complete opposite. The summer period was always a time of decline. But now, of course, we've seen consolidation, so further growth is continuing for us basically throughout the whole summer, which is surprising for this market. Now let's move on to the monthly time frame. Here we continue to see positive momentum with bars that are setting new highs each time. And of course, we have this large trading range where 2 levels are set roughly from $100,000 up to $150,000, $155,000. Anything above $100,000 is drawn toward the magnet at $155,000. That's why Bitcoin is positioned positively to the upside. I don't see any signs yet that it will shift toward $100,000 being broken again. And then, of course, the price could roll back to $70,000. But for now, the momentum is extremely positive. I don't see any signs of a dump. But again, you always have to consider the possibility that something might not go according to plan. That's why we are watching the levels of $100,000, $155,000. Those are the ones to keep an eye on. For now, the positive momentum remains. It's the same on the daily time frame. We had a corrective move, the divergence played out well, and now today, after previously consolidating above those highs, the price continues to move even higher. Well, basically, that's all I have on Bitcoin. Let's move on to Ethereum. So the market sentiment is positive. Ethereum is showing more than positive momentum. On the 3-month time frame, we have a cup and handle pattern. Yes, this is either a trend continuation or a reversal pattern, more precisely a reversal formation. On the monthly time frame, we have a double bottom, which is also playing out well. And here as well, basically, we have a cup and handle pattern drawn out. If we switch to the weekly time frame, we actually have a triple bottom formed here, which is now starting to play out. And let's see how much this triple bottom can potentially play out or deliver. It's measured roughly like this, from the breakout point. Here, our consolidation level is actually above the previous level. Accordingly, the previous week closed above it. So now we could see a dynamic rise all the way up to about $10,500. This would only be the completion of this particular pattern. But we still have room to grow further. There could be growth equal to the depth of this cup. And here, the breakout point will be measured approximately from the peak price we had here in 2021. And we could see Ethereum reach up to $20,000. And only after that might it start a major corrective move of 30, 40, or even 50%. But for now, the growth looks simply uninterrupted. That's what the charts are showing. And also the news background, which is just starting to pick up momentum. The levels to watch for Ethereum after breaking through approximately $4,850, the next resistance. Yes, the price might linger here. Yes, at this level it could pause a bit, accumulate some volume, and then continue moving further. But overall, everything is in place for the price to just break through in one go and soar even higher. The next resistance level, where there's a 90% chance of a pause or a slight pullback, is around $7,200. And then, after breaking through $7,200, we also have a huge potential for the movement to continue upward, right? That's from $7,200 to about $11,000. So that's roughly a 50% increase. Then even higher, around $15,000. And of course, by that time, I think we'll record our next episode to keep you updated. These are the levels we have marked on the Ethereum chart. And let's take a look at Ethereum to Bitcoin. The situation here is absolutely fantastic, right? So this decline that we had for a long time, which I kept talking about in our video reviews, is now over. It tested the lowest point, the very bottom of the market since 2019, and has confidently bounced back from it, now outpacing Bitcoin in growth by about 120%. And this is just the beginning. It's only the beginning because there's still plenty of room to grow. And I'm more than sure that we'll surpass previous highs and go even higher. And Ethereum to Bitcoin will reach levels it has never reached before. Our nearest resistance is at 0.045. Once it breaks through, further colossal growth will follow. BNB looks absolutely fantastic on the monthly time frame. Those of you who have taken our training already know that I've often talked about how market patterns, bullish flags, and others work out perfectly. You just need to know how to look at them correctly from the right angle and be able to identify them. Here we have a bullish flag that plays out all the way up to about $2,200, $2,300 per Binance coin. And only after that can we expect a possible corrective move. For now, there has been a confident consolidation above 700 USDT, so the next resistance is around 1,000 USDT per BNB. Once BNB breaks through 1,000 USDT, it moves to 1,500, and from there, 2,000 isn't far off. The levels are clearly marked for you here. These are the levels I personally use for my own trading and as reference points. We also had a request from our regular viewer and investor Alexander Usov to take a look at the DOT coin. I reviewed the DOT coin, and I can note here that we've had a 3-year period of decline. And this 3-year decline amounted to a full 95%. In other words, the asset dropped really hard. Ethereum once dropped by 95% in a similar way. After that, it delivered about 80 times returns, and the same could happen with DOT. If there's a good positive backdrop, then of course it can really take off. I'm not afraid to show these figures, yes. But from the current levels, DOT could give about 3,000 to 4,000% returns, which is around, well, 30, 35, maybe even 40 times. For now, looking at all the charts, I analyze a lot of news background, a lot of charts, different assets. In my opinion, the alt season is only just beginning. But this is not a signal for you to go all in right now and buy up everything, as they say. A sober mind, a cool head will help you here. Under no circumstances should you use futures trading. I'm just sharing my thoughts with you and how I personally plan to act. So thank you for your attention. Give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. Thank you for being with us. Stay in touch and goodbye. From the heart.